Good afternoon. So today I wasn't really inspired to make a message in the last, I don't know, 24 hours. A lot of things have gone through my brain lately because I'm trying to figure out fucking life now that I have a whole new key to it. Um, I had in the last few days been going through a lot of guilt. A lot of these feelings are popping up and situations in my mind are happening about this guilt and how I need to let this guilt go. I even made a video about trying to let go of guilt and move past it. And I kept thinking to myself, I need to have a different perspective on things. And because that's all always what you believe is your reality. So if I believe that something is a situation is making me feel guilty, then I'm going to feel guilty and feel bad, and I'm going to pull that energy. So how you change that is you look at it as a different at a different perspective, I guess you could say. So like I did with my mom, I do different things. When you're in the middle of feeling an emotion, it's okay to feel the emotion. Actually, you need to feel the emotion. You need to let it go. So there was a lot of crying that I've done fucking for the last month, letting go of these emotions. But I needed to see there's things that I can have a feeling of guilt, and then I can have the situation and know that the situation happened for a greater good. And it didn't necessarily happen the way that I thought it did. It happened the way it was supposed to happen for something that's completely out of my control. Even though there was some guilt in that, I'm the one who puts the guilt on it. And I can choose not to feel guilty about it by looking at it differently. And so I chose not to feel guilty about this certain situation. I don't feel guilty about it anymore because I know that it wasn't it wasn't malicious. And sometimes you can't help the way you feel about things. You just can't. I mean, you can change it because I felt guilty and I changed it, but your initial feeling about it can come from a lot of different things. Your initial feeling about whatever situation you're talking about can come from outside influences, things you thought about yourself, things you thought the situation actually was, but it may have not even been that way. So it's all about perspective of everything in life. Here's a little example. My son, he's autistic and has sensory processing disorder, and he for 2 years was not doing very well. We had to put him in different programs and try to figure out what would work. And I unintentionally this summer, they told me that they were going to move him to a different school again. And I told myself, I'm just not going to worry about it. Whatever happens, happens. I can't have control over it. Because for 2 years, all I did was worry about it. And all it did was stew and make the situation worse. And he was worse and I was upset. And it just didn't make it better. And then when I let go of the outcome of I'm just going to do what I can do and see where it leads me, he's thriving. He's no longer really in these special programs that much. He's eating better. Once I decided to start doing things differently, once I noticed the things that I was doing weren't weren't serving me or him, and I could be calmer and I could just let life happen, life happened for the better. But I put so many thoughts on things, and I created situations that didn't need to be as bad as they were. So I've changed my son. Yeah, he's not as strong as other kids. There's other little things that he's struggling with, but he is getting so much fucking better. We went to a party yesterday, and my friends called me and complimented me on how well behaved my son was. And if you know my son, which some of y'all may not, that has not always been the case. And he's a totally different person. You know why? Because I'm a totally different person. Because I decided I'm the one who leads him, and I'm the one who he sees, and I'm going to put nothing but love and reassurance in him and letting him know that he's strong and he is wise and he is smart and he can do anything, because I could see how he was taking those same thoughts that I did when I was a little kid. I thought I wasn't smart, and I didn't think I was good enough, and I didn't think I could do things, and so I didn't. So when I said I decided to change my, family's line of lineages, whatever you call, like the problems of turmoil, when I decided to change it, I decided to change it in a lot of different ways. But you have to be aware. You have to look at it. That's why I always say it's like life is it's like a story. It is. It's like a story, and I'm a character, and I was that mom then, and I'm a different mom now. And I was that wife then, and I'm a different wife now. And I was, I almost think as myself as, there's Jackie Barbosa and there's Jacqueline Laws. There's two different personas. They're two different pieces. And then there's the soul that's really me. And so when you start looking at everything that way, you can, I don't want to say control, you can let the universe take you where you're ultimately supposed to go. Don't let your thoughts control that. Don't let your thoughts make you feel guilty about something that really wasn't that bad. And let you take you back down to a place, to a person that you once were. You're no longer that person. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. And I just kind of want to share thoughts that come in my head. Sometimes I get these and I have to share them. But right now I was just like, today this is just something I wanted to share and see how it goes. But holler for $1.